Aikido is purification. I remember, and you know, I realize this is very important. It was also a very important experience on my part because many people who were around us sensei did not actually experience this. If it didn't happen that many times, but it was very clear each time it happened. There was like this ball around me. And it's like within that ball was a feeling of light, you know, like shimmering light. And as long as I could feel that ball around me, I realized that it was impossible to think or feel what we would normally consider, you know, painful or depressive or, you know, any kind of thinking or feelings like that. And now there is some quotes about misogi that Stevens has translated, where you get a sense of this is so to be able to, for oneself and also for others, to be able to generate that kind of what would you call that kind of energy is also a part of Aikido, and it should be accepted as a part, as a direction. Now that feeling of Japanese purification, right, is related. You can easily touch it in the particular taste, you say Japanese taste of this in nature, in particular, where there's flowing water, you know, waterfall, you know, and you know. Of course, we know too that flowing water purifies itself. And of course, fast-flowing water purifies itself really fast. And this is again one of the reasons for practicing 4 times without stopping. Right? And in that 4 times, you do not want to break the connection. And you want more and more to connect and draw the person into the next move. But also you have the ki flowing through whatever technique is being practiced, through those 4 moves, which is similar to the flow of water. So, O-sensei also talks about Aikido generating light and heat. And certainly at the level of heat, that can and should come from the intensity of practice. That if the practice is intense enough, there should be a feeling of heat or warmth, first put it here. But beyond that, O-sensei relates the generation of heat and light to kototan. Now, my experience of light started with, well, first of all, with O-sensei. At least I, and also, for instance, Tsuda, could see light around him, but many could not. So, you know, considered subjective. And he prayed, or in particularly because I don't remember so clearly, because O-sensei didn't pray that much at that time that I was there. But certainly when Hikichushi sensei prayed the Shinto prayers, now the Shinto prayers although what we consider the prayer part, they ask to be, essentially he said, please purify me, and things like that are said during the prayer. Essentially the Shinto prayer is a repetition, similar to bhajans, Indian bhajans. It's a repetition of the names of the Shinto gods. And the names of the Shinto gods are mostly written in kototama. So they have the vibration, the pure vibration of kototama in them. And when said, from deep within, when said from deep within the spirit, or said from the heart, however you want to say it, then, for instance, any time that, for instance, Hikijuchi Sensei prayed every day, every morning, and for most of those I was there. And when he would do that, which is just a repetition of mostly it's a repetition of the names of the Shinto gods, essentially I would see light in my head. So I'm just speaking about my own personal experience in regard to this aspect of Aikido. And of course, light is very important. This is one of Go Sensei's calligraphies. And particularly at the end of his life, that was one of his favorite calligraphies to give some of his kari, which means light. And another phrase of his, which he was used in calligraphies which he gave, is Aiko, in which case I, in this case, and the character is also the character for I meaning love, and Ko is another meaning of, it was the own meaning of Kari, light. So the light of love. And when he died, his friend, the priest Misogi Sensei, gave him because in Japan you get a different name after you die, gave him the name Aiko no Mikoto. So no Mikoto is a suffix that implies the person, when you're speaking about a deity, and Aiko is that. Light of love. So this is very important. Christoph sent me some really heavy Buddhist, it was really fundamental Buddhist stuff about you shouldn't do this, you got to stop this, and this, this, no, all this religious stuff. The key word in Aikido is love. And that was certainly the feeling, the energy of Go Sensei. And it's very important to think and try to feel and try to relate or understand how Aikido expresses and develops experience of love. That's not a word which you normally think of in terms of martial arts. But it has a profound reality.